Have you noticed something strange lately? You work harder, you push harder, you try to save money, you try to do everything right. And somehow your money still disappears faster than ever. Let me tell you something nobody wants to admit. The middle class is entering a silent danger zone. And the worst part? Most people still haven't noticed. Because while you're stressing over saving $20 at the grocery store, there are people making millions betting on the price of energy. Coincidence? No. It's the game. And today I'm going to show you something that completely changed the way I see money, inflation, and the future. Because if oil prices don't come down before summer, millions of people are going to feel an economic punch they are not prepared to survive. And when that happens, it won't be a temporary crisis, it will be a massive transfer of wealth. From the people who consume to the people who own. Stay until the end, because I'm going to show you the exact pattern used by hedge funds and wealthy families to protect themselves when the world starts burning. And trust me, once you understand this, you will never look at a gas station the same way again. Because oil is not just gasoline. That's the biggest mistake normal people make. Oil is food, transportation, fertilizer, plastic, logistics, trade, construction. It's literally the nervous system of the modern economy. Everything you see, everything you buy, everything you consume needs energy to exist. So when oil goes up, everything rises behind it. And here comes the question nobody wants to ask. What happens if oil prices don't fall before summer? Think about it. Millions of families are already at the edge. Maxed out credit cards, empty savings accounts, impossible rent prices, more expensive food, more expensive insurance, more expensive electricity. And still most people act like everything is normal. But this is not normal. People are surviving on debt disguised as stability. And when energy stays expensive for too long, pressure starts breaking things. First, the small luxuries disappear. Then savings disappear. Then peace of mind disappears. And finally, liquidity disappears. And this is where the real game begins. Because when people lose liquidity, they start selling assets. They panic sell investments, panic sell businesses, panic sell property. And guess who buys everything? The same people who spent months preparing. Do you think rich people are afraid of crises? No. They wait for them. Because crises are discounts for people with cash. While the majority panics, they go shopping. And that brings us to the most important question in this video. Why does energy create millionaires during chaos? I'll explain it simply. If the world needs energy to function, then the companies controlling energy control the flow of money. It's that simple. When you pay more for gas, someone else is making more money. When electricity prices rise, someone profits. When transporting food becomes more expensive, somebody benefits. Money never disappears, it only changes pockets. And the real question is, which side of the system are you on? Most people think inflation is just bad luck. But no. Inflation is an invisible tax. One that slowly destroys people holding cash without owning real assets. That's why wealthy people don't sit on cash during inflation cycles. They buy real things. Infrastructure, commodities, energy, productive assets. Because they understand something most people never learn. Money loses value. Strategic assets don't. And here comes the dangerous part. If oil stays high during summer, we could see a brutal domino effect. Travel becomes more expensive. Flights explode in price. Food costs rise again. Transportation gets crushed. Small businesses suffer. And the average consumer simply can't breathe anymore. And when the consumer stops breathing, the economy starts choking. But wait, because this is where the story gets interesting. Remember when everyone said inflation was temporary? Look around. Did it feel temporary to your wallet? Exactly. Because the truth is this, the modern financial system was built on cheap energy, and when energy stops being cheap, the entire castle starts shaking. Now I want you to ask yourself one uncomfortable question. If oil prices rise even more tomorrow, would your life change? Or would you still feel safe? Because that is the difference between fake stability and real security. Most people are one price increase away from financial stress. That's not freedom. That's financial fragility disguised as stability. And this is where what I call the energy shield comes in. It's not magic. It's not a quick trade. It's not some meme crypto coin. It's a philosophy, a structure designed to survive when the cost of living becomes aggressive. Pillar number 1, energy-related assets. Because if the world needs more energy, somebody is going to get paid for producing it. Pillar number 2, cash flow. Not just money sitting in a bank account, money flowing in consistently. Because during hard times, cash flow rules everything. And pillar number 3, strategic liquidity. Because the biggest opportunities appear when people are desperate. And if you show up without cash, all you can do is watch from the sidelines. That is what destroys the middle class. Not lack of intelligence, lack of preparation. Because the system never rewards the people who react late. It rewards the people who recognize the pattern before everyone else. And let me make something clear. I'm not saying the world is ending. I'm saying something much more serious. The world will continue functioning, but it may function in a much more expensive way. And the people who fail to adapt are going to feel it every single day. At the gas station, at the grocery store, in rent payments, in anxiety, in stress. Because yes, inflation also destroys peace of mind. And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about what it feels like to work all month and still feel like you're moving backwards. Nobody talks about how families fight more when money gets tight. Nobody talks about the silent stress created by economic uncertainty. But the markets understand it perfectly. That's why smart money moves before the news does. Always. By the time the TV anchor starts warning people, the biggest players already made their moves months earlier. And now comes the most important question of all. What are you going to do? Wait. Deny reality? Distract yourself? Hope everything magically becomes cheap again? Or start thinking like someone who actually understands how money works? Because in the end, wealth is not built by predicting the future. It's built by preparing for scenarios that everybody else ignores. And if oil prices don't fall before summer, millions of people are going to realize too late that they were living inside an illusion of stability. I don't want you to be one of them. I want you to understand the game. I want you to see the pattern. I want you to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. Because once you understand energy, you understand the true engine behind money. And trust me, the next few months could completely change the financial lives of millions of people. The question is, will you become a victim of the change? Or will you position yourself before it's too late? Subscribe right now and watch the next video, because I'm going to show you exactly how smart people are building real financial protection before the next wave hits. This is Wealth Anatomy. And here, we don't follow the system, we dissect it to survive it.